/FSSK. And so tonight I don't really have an agenda. I take any questions that you have about PLR or your business. Um, let's see. So to find the okay, there we go. Um, one thing that I came across most recently is that I think it was uh, someone had kind of asked about how how you'd work with unrestricted rights. I did put that together in a bonus that I did for Vikram. I'll just talk through it. And again, if you have questions, um, go ahead and write them in. Otherwise, I'll just kind of talk through this a little bit. And let me try to find the Q&A here or the chat. Okay, I got the chat open. Okay, so one way to kind of handle the anything that you have with unrestricted rights is and I would always suggest that you do this with one of those, and at that price it's really worth it to kind of try it. Now what I will say is that it does take a little bit, hello Scott, it does take a little bit of work. Either that of if you're either going to have somebody else's work or you're going to have some of your own. And so let's say that and maybe the cooking videos might not be your thing, but the principle, right? And I would suggest that you look at these things in that way. So when you see these big packages of videos, if you have labor, right, and you can put people on something. Now, if you can't put people on something and you got to do it yourself, it's kind of hard to do this. But if you have people that you can put on this and they have excess capacity, right? So let's say that I know a lot of people who outsource. What tends to happen is the people who have who outsource, they've got more time with those people than they can always give them work, right? And typically, you're giving them busy work. So I would suggest that you approach this with a money-making project that's potential. So you get the PLR, something like, I don't know, it's $13 or something like that, and it's got a gazillion videos. In the case of Vikram, it was cooking videos. I think some people do travel videos or affirmation videos or whatever the case is, whatever you want to call them. What you would do, for the most part, is you're going to organize those in a system like I suggest you use go high level. So for example, I have been saying that if you're, if you're like if you're an Ultimate Insider that you use system.io, I've been kind of rethinking that, right? So if you really want to do this, right? And I know that, Ultimate Insiders, I do give you access to, your own Go High Level sub account. Let's say that you wanted to try this business model, then if you need a second account and we sort of agree on a price on that, right? So I will, give you access to a second account. You and I agree on the price. And what you're basically going to do in that second account is you're going to set up the gazillion videos. You're going to organize them. You're going to make them, put them in the platform. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to set this up as as a fully functional um, website, right? And so basically you are going to deliver to your customer a a travel website or a in the case of if you bought Vikram's videos, it would be a cooking website. It's going to be all in one thing, right? And so what you would do, okay, so Scott is asking about the cooking videos. Okay, so we did put together a bonus for that. Let me I think do I have everybody turned on to my comments? Okay, so show.com/v fire, right? For Vikram fire launchers. Okay. So what you would do is you would take and your outsources would have to organize this stuff. So that's what you're going to do with their time is you're going to get them to upload all this stuff to the platform. It's going to be organized. And when you go to your customer, you're going to tell your customer that you're going to put them in the website business. Now, it's a little difficult if you have a sub account. It's easier to do if you're in Go High Level in System.io because they're going to have their own domain. I mean, if you have an additional sub account, you kind of have to manage their domain. It's not impossible, right? And if you want to do that, you're an ultimate insider, and that's something you want to do, let me know. And like I said, we'll agree on the price, and then I'll give you an extra account, and you can go do it. You can go for it. Um, but that's basically the business model, right? And you're going to sell that to them as a done for you, right? So you buy the PLR, you upload it to a site, you organize it, and you go to your because again, you have unrestricted rights to that particular content, and you deliver it to the customer. Now you're not going to charge them $10, right? You're not going to charge them obviously what you paid for it. And you want to sell to somebody who can use it, somebody who can drive some traffic to it. If you want to go a little further and set it up as a value added, you're going to set up their their sub account or their account with some other links in there where they can actually monetize that a little more. Those of you who are into AdSense, you can add AdSense into some of the structured areas. And so when you start talking about, let's say uh, the written content, right? So you're going to put that written content in other areas inside of the platform. Let me kind of see if I can show you this a little bit. And as I said, now I don't really have anything planned. So if you have something planned, then please feel free to jump in. Let me kind of go here into high level. And let's kind of let's do a little something here. Right. So let's say that I went here and I'm going to switch over to, okay, so that's sub account. So let's go to, and we'll go to community groups. Okay, so um, in terms of your written content, I think that what I would be doing is I would be setting up some of the groups, not as groups, but you're going to set these up as I guess portals for your customer to go in. And you're going to set these up again so that they'll be able to see some of the written content that you have. Now, just because they create it to you, they give it to you as a group, doesn't mean it has to be a group. You can set these up however you want. Now, they set these up as discussion communities. I don't know if that's the way you would use these. If you have access to a sub account, you're going to set these community groups up as content pieces. Now, obviously, one of the other things you can do is you can just set up a site for that, right? So if you wanted to set up, let's say a blog, right? You can just set up a blog post and you can do one of those on the website that it gives you. But basically, what I would be doing is I would be setting up one site, organizing the videos, and delivering it to a customer as a done for you solution and to charge appropriately. So whereas somebody is going to try to sell the videos as, excuse me, unrestricted rights courses, if they're going to sell it in our market, it's going to be kind of hard after the first month or so. But it's going to be pretty easy though to sell it outside of our market as an entire solution if you're willing to put in the work. Now, one thing I would say, and what I said in the bonus that I put together for Vikram is this: you're not going to put this together until you have a customer. So you go and you sell it first. So you sell the process first, you get the customer, and then you get the outsourcer to do the work. Now, if you have extra time that an outsourcer has excess capacity, you get them to put this together for you, where they're going to upload all the videos in a way that the customer can experience them, right? And then you deliver the site to the customer as one site that they're going to be able to use in order to sell access to it. So if you think about some of the consumer related unrestricted rights in that way, you'll be thinking a little differently, right? And so that's the way that I would approach. Now, I don't really have the bandwidth and the time in order to do this. I wish I could just I had the time to put it all together and do a case study where I could find the customer and just give it to them. But intuitively, that's easier with a $13 product that you buy than trying to sell it 100 times, right? Now I have seen something like an unrestricted rights pack of videos that'll get onto one of the um, PLR memberships, right? And people will sell that as a PLR membership. It's always going to be easier in general to find a customer outside of our market that doesn't know anything about all this stuff, that you're going to be able to sell this. Now again, the key to this process is not going to be is going to be your pricing for the amount of work you're going to put in and what you're actually going to get back from the customer. So I would pre-sell it first, right? So you're going to put together the sales letter for this, and I think I did that. I think I did that in my bonus for Vikram. I put together what I thought was a sales letter, and so I put together a sales letter that you would use in order to approach the customer with this done for you site, right? And so that is what you would go to them with, and obviously, um, it's not something that people have really done or talked about before, so it's not going to necessarily be a process. You do need to have a customer base. You do need to have some access to people that would be interested. But in general, the people that are in our marketing and marketing in our space, we know people who are interested who want to make more money online. They're looking for a business opportunity. And so because you probably are known to people that you know about business opportunities, this is one, right? So whenever you get those opportunities, I don't really do a lot of unrestricted rights PLR. Now, here's what I will say. Let's say um that you get one of our DFY live master classes, right? So I'm not recording it tonight. I'll probably record it either tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Mother's Day. If I if I record the DFY live master class tomorrow, I'm probably gonna have to come live with you. But um I'm gonna probably have to record that on Monday. And so let's say that you got a DFY live masterclass. It's got unrestricted rights. I record those as if you're the trainer. So when I edit it, there's nothing in there that says it's me. There's nothing refers to my brand, anything like that. Here's what I would do with that, right? Here's something that you can do. If you have access to a platform and you've got it at the agency level, and again, if if you're an ultimate insider and you want an additional site in order to do this, um, I'm willing to work with you and to give you an additional site for a period of time. Maybe we'll agree on the price for a year. And you're just gonna basically gonna manage this. Um, you are going to give someone an entire training platform. So basically, you can take, let's say, 12 DFY live master classes. They've all got unrestricted rights. It's the same concept. So you're going to give someone a training site. And so you're going to tell them, well, hey, I've got a year's worth of monthly training, and it's going to be live training, and we'll put links in there. And so you set it up as one site. So you give them basically a live training site. So you pick out all the DFY live master classes that you have from us, and you put them in one site, and you sell that to your customer as a solution. So it becomes a training site. And so again, now it's much easier to do logistically in System.io. And it's not that I'm in love with System.io. It's not that I think that it's better than the Insider platform. I think the Insider platform is better. It's easy logistically for you to get somebody to get their own site in System, and then you get the affiliate commission in addition to giving them the site through a share code, right? So you set up the training site. You set it up in, let's say, in one course, and then you give your customer when they pay you, not beforehand. So you're not going to give it to them until they pay you, and you can't obviously. You're going to have to be really clear the on your refund policy, because once they have it, there's not really a lot you can do with it, and they can download, they can do whatever. So I'm thinking that even though it's going to suppress your sales a little bit, the nature, you're basically going to be somewhat to some degree in the same business I'm in. And so you really can't be um, openly saying that you're going to give people a refund if they don't like it. They're going to have to they're going to have to do this with a platform that you don't have control over. So one of the good things about this is that you, by putting them in one of the platforms, you remove responsibility for managing the platform. You don't want to be in that business. I don't want to be in that business. That's one of the reasons why we use system.io system and go high level to deliver these solutions, because I'm a content man. I don't want to be in the software business. And so the minute I take responsibility for the software, I can charge you more, but then I have more responsibility that I'm not willing to do. And so part of the whole game in doing this is, look, the more responsibility you're willing to take for your customer, right? The more responsibility you're willing to take, the more you can charge. But you got to make sure you want to be in that business. And so I know I wouldn't want to be in a software business. So and that's why I would say if you don't want to be in a software business, you put them in a platform that they got to manage and they got to go buy it themselves. If they don't like the platform, um, then you're not necessarily going to be on the hook for how they use it. And if you are more of a trainer than you are a than you are a software person, then you don't want to assume that responsibility. Now, again, now if you've got an operation, let's say you've got a team of people and you manage those things. And I always tell people if they're going to do a go high level agency and you have a team, you can do it. If you don't have a team, it's hard to do it. Now, I'm doing it primarily with systems and things that I have custom programmed, and I'm using about a fourth of what the platform can do. But if I wanted to do more, and wanted to do more with the training and more with giving more latitude, I would need to add more people to a team. It would also take away from what it is that we do well, which is determine, what subjects to teach and then to teach them. That's a different business. So everything really depends on, kind of the business you want to be in. But you can always take unrestricted rights, put it in a platform, sell the platform to your customer. That's the business model. And so you're not even in the same, you're not even in the same business as everybody else. You're trying to find customers, and what does it matter what you charge them? Because for some people, I'll tell you, they're more than happy to pay you to have access that you something you put together. They just make a problem go away. They'll give you, they'll give you hundreds of thousands, maybe even thousands of dollars to make that problem go away. Oh, I don't have to upload all these videos. I don't have to organize them. It's done. Here's the money, right? And then they'll just take it from there. There are people who have bought, let's say, a domain on Flippa, and they don't know what they're going to do with that domain. They pay a little money to get it, right? They've got kind of like a business operation there, but they don't have engagement content. They don't have things that they can use to engagement. You're basically going to sell them this part of the site that they're going to put in a subdomain in order to engage their customers. For people who are operating at that level, they don't care what they pay you. You're just going to pay you to make that problem go away. Oh, well, I've got a 900 video cooking site, part of my site, that I can use to engage these customers that I now have that I got from Flippa. So your whole customer base and the customer base you're going after, if you approach it this way, is different. And so if you travel in these circles where your customers are not solopreneur information marketers like we are, then you approach them differently. You put together different products. You put together different services and you go with them. And you do have that latitude where you've got unrestricted rights content. And so if you've got if you go back in time, a lot of the DFY Live masterclasses that I've done, they're pretty evergreen, right? You could still, even let's say if some of the concepts are outdated, if you go back to stuff I did back in 2021, you could still put that into a training site. And you could sell that process as a training site. And so that process is basically a train the trainer method. I've been toying around with redoing the 52-week new marketer workshop and give it to you as a train the trainer. So in other words, to put it in a site and then you give it to your customer to sell, right? And that's a whole different level. It's a whole other thing. I'm not sure if I got it in me to do another 52 weeks of that, but that is something that, you know, I might be convinced to be, if somebody approaches me, yeah, Scott says you can do it. Yeah. One thing I could do, and once again, right? I mean, the content is really done. There's no difference between the content I've already done and doing that. I mean, if somebody really wants to do that, let's say that you really want to do it, and let's say I upload all the content for you into system.io, and then you purchase basically a master resale rights license, right? I could be convinced of that. I'd have to figure out what the price would be, and basically you would go to your customer and you would say, hey, I can put together a 52-week training membership for you. And all you'd be doing is you'd be taking the share code that I give you and you'd be giving it to them to put in their system.io, right? You'd be giving it to them to put it in their site. And you would be hands off on the work part. You would be focused on the marketing part, right? And that would not require me to do any additional. I would I wouldn't have to record another 52 weeks, and we wouldn't be another year out for me doing it. I could do that with the existing 52-week session. So if somebody's interested, I'll have to think of a price. I'll have to kind of think about, because the work is already done. So all I have to really do, I could do that this week. In fact, I could just upload all the sessions to Go High Level and System.io, and maybe I'll do that this week. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, well, I got the 52-week thing, but I never really used it. But I do have a Go High Level sub account, or I do have System. Um, I will put together what a master resale rights license if for that. And so basically then you would then be able to share to sell that process. I'll figure out a sales letter and put it together. So I'll try to figure it out this week. Um, let's see, it's 7:27. Next Saturday is going to be 11 Labs, and I think I've been threatening to do that. I still need to do Job Layoff Survival Guide, and I want to do that and 11 Labs next. One or both of those are going to be next, and I think 11 Labs is going to go to Ultimate Insider. So if you're an Ultimate Insider, that'll be your May selection. So you'll get the Essentials course, the front end, the tutorial masterclass, and then the DFY live masterclass. I'll give all those three to you as part of your membership. If you're an Ultimate Insider, you're watching now. There are more people here than that. So let's see. Scott's asking, have you thought about HeyGen or getting a job in AI? I have. I thought I've toyed around getting a job in AI, but I don't even know what that will look like. And honestly, um, man, I don't even know if I'm employable anymore. Really, my whole rhythm is just wrong. And um, but yeah, it's an interesting concept, right? It's an interesting concept. And also now, pushing 60. I don't know, man. I don't know. Uh, but Harlan Kilstein has a course on it. Yeah, I remember Harlan. Haven't heard from him in a long time, depending on the circle I travel in. But yeah, okay. So hopefully I didn't really talk over that concept. I tried to talk through it. I think you understand the basic model, and you can do that with any. Let's say you go back and you already bought one of those big packages. Let's say you bought I saw I think Johnny Rose, right? He did a tea. right? I think it did something on tea. Let's say you bought the tea package. Doesn't matter, right? Same concept. For you, you're a marketer. You don't care what it is. You're gonna so you're not emotionally involved in tea now. You might be emotionally involved in tea, but it's not about the tea. It's about the business model. And you could just be in the business of giving people these sites, right? Full site. Just give it to them with all the videos. And again, it's easy to do if you have the system.io account because all you're going to give them is a share code. Now, obviously, I think that the way you want to train your customers is you use expertise monetization playbook, right? I've done all the videos you need in order to train your customer how to use system.io. So however you do it, I mean, you bring them into your course platform and then you let them watch your videos on how to use that platform. And then you give them a site, right? Give them a done for you site. And let me see, I will put, just in case you're interested, I will put I put all of the um, expertise monetization playbook in in one package here. Yeah, so Scott says he uses those packages for traffic. Yeah, either way, right? I mean, I think it can do more for you, right? I think it can be it could be a done for you site. And now again, the key to this is you get the customer and then you get the labor. I think that's the workflow. And you wouldn't go through all that trouble unless you had a customer. And so if you're a consultant type and you're talking to these customers and you're saying to them, well, here's something I could do for you, right? I could put a site together for you. You could just sell all you can have a training site for your people, and then you give them a price, and there's always going to be somebody who will say yes to that, always, and you don't even have to be. I'm not a salesperson, right? There's always going to be somebody in earshot of what you're saying that's going to say yes to that. Done for you. It's already done for you. All I've got to do is just get it up and running. You'll show me how to use the platform. I'm in, right? And that's a different. If you chase that customer, if you once you get one customer like that, you will then figure out how to get another customer like that. So that's another way to do it. So you can do that with our unrestricted rights DFY Live masterclasses. You can put them all in one place, sell it as a train site, or you can use one of the big consumer packages, right? So they're different audiences. If somebody wants a business training site, you give them business training. If somebody wants to do a consumer site, do a consumer site. Now, the consumer site is going to be more exciting because it's got more videos, but the customers that will probably make more out of what you're doing will be the people that you put a training site together for, right? They're probably going to make more with with our DFY Live Masterclass. Be quite honest with you, and learning how to use a platform to sell it or to engage their customers. They're probably going to make more with that than the person who would who would buy the consumer site. Now, the person who would buy the consumer site, it's going to take you a lot more work to do that. You're going to have to charge them a minimum amount for that. But like I said, you're going to get the customer before you set it up. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, any questions? I'll have to take a look at this sample video, Scott. Thank you for letting me know. Any questions? Yeah, you're welcome, Dana. We're waiting on the next launch, Dana. All right, any other questions? Thank you, Scott. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks very much for hanging out with me here. And if you yes, yep, we still are, Scott. Still on for sure. Okay, everybody, have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.